Hi folks, this is Donnie D. I want to give you a quick look and my initial impression of a scope that I bought a couple of weeks ago for my Savage Axis 308. I originally had a Nikon 3 to 9 by 50 scope on this rifle. I took it off and moved it over to my AR-15. Really like it on my AR. Working out great on that. The reason I purchased this scope, I wanted a little bit more power than the 9. So I was just looking around at my local shop and saw this scope. It was one of the few they had that had any power higher than 9. Let me show you a couple of things bad, but it has nothing to do with the scope. It has to do with Donnie D. And after I show you, you'll know what the D stands for in Donnie D. And it ain't darling, it's dumb. But anyway, you see that little scratch right there, and you see that scratch right there, and if you look real careful, kind of hard to focus this cheap camera, but there's actually a little dent right there. When I was putting this scope on this rifle, I had to shim it back here on the back. It's not scope, it's this mount here. It apparently rides low for some reason, don't know why. I had to shim my Nikon, but when I did this one, I don't know if I got my shim on cocked or something like that, and I over tightened it using steel rings. I have since changed my rings to these aluminum lift hold rings, like them better, and over tightened and scratched it and dinged the scope. But anyway, didn't seem to hurt the scope, hadn't hurt the accuracy apparently, and just kind of scratched it up and kind of spoiled the looks of it. But anyway, on to the scope, which so far is nothing but good. When I saw this scope, it's a Mueller. Never heard of Mueller in my life until I saw it at my shop the other day. So once I saw it and saw that it had the features I wanted and the power I wanted, I went home and looked it up, did a little bit of research, and actually saw almost nothing but good stuff about it from the various forums and reviews. Had one guy that reviewed it and said that he knew it was a piece of crap, sight unseen. Well, I didn't put a whole lot of credence into that since he said he had never even seen the thing before, so I didn't put a whole lot of faith in that review. So I decided to go ahead and buy it. It lists for $269. My shop had it for $259. They sold it to me for $230 plus tax, so I decided to take a chance. Kind of glad I did so far. Finally got it out last Tuesday and got it mounted and shimmed properly and got it started getting it set, and went back out again today with it and finally finished up, and I've got it pretty close to set, holding dead on the target at 100 yards. It's doing really good. Shot it maybe, I've probably run 80 rounds through it so far of 7.62 by 51, and so far so good. Of course, that's not really enough to tell if it's going to hold zero good, but it seems to be doing fine so far. So let me start from the front and give you the information on the scope, the basic information on it. It comes with these bikini strap column style lens covers, which I like because I can take them off and completely get rid of them. It has a 50mm objective lens, fully multi-coated optics. It has a front objective lens parallax adjustment, which I really like. With a range of 0 to infinity, with a true range or true setting for up to 300 yards. 1-inch tube. The turrets are covered with caps. They are finger adjustable and 0 resettable. Not quite as easy to reset them as the Nikon. The Nikon, you just lift up on it, turn it to 0 and drop it. These, you have 3 little set screws. Just have to be careful not to strip them or lose them, but still pretty easy to do. I haven't reset it to 0 yet. I want to shoot it a few more times, make sure it does hold, and it's like I want it before I even bother. Here's your power ring here. Range 8.25 to 25. Nice and smooth, turns really easily. It has a very fine, thin, standard reticle with a dot in the center. The dot is illuminated with 11 different illumination settings. Here's your battery compartment right up here. It has a fast focus ring, meaning you don't have to loosen up a locking ring and then get your reticle in focus. You just turn it, and you don't have to lock anything up or anything like that. Wish I could show you the reticle, but I'll never get it to show through this camera. hard enough to just focus the thing. But anyway, just my initial impression of the scope. I'm real happy with it. I think it's going to be fine. A lot of people talk about inexpensive scopes. The one I took off of the AR so I could put the Nikon on it when I bought this was an NC Star 3-9x42. I've had about 2 years. I've had absolutely zero problems with it. It's been rock solid for me, and I've got it off of the AR. I'm going to put it on a 995 TS high point. I'm going to get me another one of those and put that scope on it. But anyway, this is an inexpensive scope. I think it's going to be a good one though. But anyway, for right now, for the Mueller 8.25-25x50 rifle scope, initial look, this is Donnie D, and I'll see you later. Bye.